This video is part of a series of videos on transforming shapes, and in this particular video I'm going to show you how to translate a shape. I'm going to do 3 examples. This first one says translate object A 3 squares right and 2 squares up. So the first thing I'd like to do is deal with some of the language that we're using here, such as the word translate. Translate means, in the context of transformation in maths, it means to move or slide a shape. Okay? And object is the word that we give a shape before it's been transformed in some way, before it's been translated, before it's been rotated, before it's been enlarged, before it's been skewed. So that's the before shape, if you like. The word that we give to a shape after it's been transformed in some way is the image. So once I've translated object A, it's going to be referred to as the image of A. It's the sort of the after shape, if you like. Okay. Right, well, let's begin. Translate shape A 3 squares right and 2 squares up. I'm going to show you exactly how I would do this if this was my exam question. I will do this corner by corner. And I would do this if I was doing reflection, if I was doing rotation, if I was doing enlargement, I'd still do it corner by corner. So what I find quite helpful is to give each corner either a letter or a colour. So I'm going to use green, purple, blue and orange and translate each shape, each corner separately. Starting with green. Green, this green dot has to be translated 3 squares to the right. So this is literally just means moving this dot 3 squares to the right and then 2 squares up, like this. 1, 2, 3 to the right and 2 up. 1, 2. So there's the new dot. The purple one is going to have the same done to it. It's translated 3 to the right, 1, 2, 3, and then 2 up. 1, 2. And then blue, 3 to the right, and 2 up. And orange, 1, 2, 3 to the right, 1, 2, up. And now if I join those dots together, I will have created the object, the image of A, once the object has been translated 3 to the right and 2 up. So I'll label this as A with a little 1, and that refers to the first image of A. Okay, so that's the final answer to that problem. But before I move on to the second example, what I would like to talk about is a classic mistake that I see a lot of people making. So if I just if I delete that, and I'll show you what people tend to do. This is what they do when they move the whole shape instead of corner by corner. You get the shape? And they want to have 3 squares in between, and then 2 squares up. And they'll tell me that is the image of A once it's been translated 3 squares to the right and 2 squares up. And I can see why, because there's a gap of 3 squares. Okay, so in some ways that would make sense. But if you consider any one of those 4 points, any one of the 4 corners of the object, let's find out what's happened to it. Let's take the green one. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right and 2 up. So it has not been translated 3 to the right and 2 up. It's actually been translated 4 to the right and 2 up. So that would have been a classic mistake. Okay. Right, okay, we're going to move on to the second example. Translate object B 1 square left and 4 squares down. So I'll use the same trick. Colour each corner with a different colour, or I could label it with a different letter. So I might actually do that as well. let's call this A, B, C and D. Starting with A, 1 square left and 4 squares down. 1 to the left and 4 squares down. 1, 2, 3, 4. So A ends up there. B, 1 square to the left, 1 and 4 squares down. 1, 2, 3, 4. And C, 1 to the left, 4 down. And D, 1 to the left and 4 down. Okay, now they're not really the points A, B, C and D because they're part of the image. So they're not the same for A, B. They're not the same points A, B, C and D. They're now A with a little 1, B with a little 1, C with a little 1 and D with a little 1. Need to join those up. To create the image of B. Okay, there's the image of B. The object B has been translated 1 square to the left and 4 squares down.